Laugh
or else.
Laugh or Else radio show has been known to play some music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in Radioland. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
We pot the mics up at WNUR. This is the freeform programming here at WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. My name is Timur Radicek, your freeform community DJ, and we will be joining you till roughly 2 a.m. this morning. As you could tell, well, maybe not, because you don't see what's going on in the station, but we had a caller already about the my little intro there and how I was going to play some songs that I think Trump may enjoy himself. Even though I mentioned his name, it sparks outrage. I don't get it. Jay, what's going on?
Well, I mean, what do you expect, man? He thought he was doing like a tribute to him, that you were actually going out of your way and saying, this is for you. This is a mixtape that I made you there, Donnie.
Oh, yeah? Is that what he thought?
It sounds like it. And
I want to date him?
No, I don't know about that. Maybe you're like his number one fan.
Oh, yeah.
Like Misery? Like, yeah. I'm your number one fan.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're his crush. Like, you're his, what is it, Man Crush Monday?
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
You know, your crush for him is 7 days a week, Timur.
Yeah, of course.
But, yeah, he thought you were showing him too much consideration, which is fine. I mean,
yeah, even if I did, what difference?
That's why, well, I mean, I told the guy, I mean, you're thinking what he might like, what he would listen to.
That's what I said.
That was presidential for him. Yeah.
Absolutely, that was a disclaimer.
I can see him being a rocker, man. I don't think he's too much into, like, some cultured, like,
hip-hop
classical,
or jazz or anything.
Classical music, for that matter, or anything like that.
Listen.
I can't see him.
This is the Laugh or Else radio show. The idea here is that we provide entertainment, news, and
yes, we do.
Everything that's going on around the country.
We try.
And we try to add a little bit of flavor to it, or opinion, which is a talk radio show.
Yes, we are.
And even if we did say things that you didn't agree with, I mean, that's tough luck, man. If you don't like what you're listening to, change the station.
That's right. That's your right as a God-given American.
Exactly.
You don't like what you hear, you don't like what you see, turn the station or turn it off.
So with that said, what we do here is we do kind of like an afternoon drive talk show.
Right. And in the middle of the night on Saturday between Sunday.
Right, which is a good time because if you flip through the channels, you're not going to hear anything else.
Correct.
It's either music or AM sports talk.
Or it's just something like already that's predetermined or something, like a playlist or something, and very little, something syndicated too will have that.
Right.
Yeah.
And we come with themes, every week up until now it's been like hip-hop or whatever.
Rock.
Yeah, so we kind of alternate back and forth. I'll play independent stuff too. I'll play stuff you might even hear on Zeta.
Oh, please no, but okay.
I could.
For people that don't know, Zeta is basically the station that's on here, the default station, so to speak.
Well, I mean, it's a bunch of artists they approve that they keep in rotation when nobody's here.
Right. It's specialty for like funeral directors. Sounds like what they have. I mean, no offense to the guy.
Right. Yeah, but with that said, I'd like to welcome you to the show. We're all over social media. You can find us by using the hashtag LOERadio. You could use it on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else.
That's right.
We also got a lot of stuff to cover this morning. It is January 29th of the year 2017, and there's no shortage of things to talk about. But before we get into that, I'd like to give a very special shout out to my mother, because it was her birthday yesterday, and she'd crucify me if I didn't say happy birthday. Happy birthday, Ma, I love you.
Happy birthday.
So make sure I get a soundbite of that, and I can send it to her on her Facebook.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
So there's that. And before we get into Chicago news, we usually go with a cover of what's been going on throughout the week. And like I said, there's been no shortage, Jay, even up to the moment I left my house to get here.
What's that?
Like, I've been just news is breaking left and right.
Oh, a lot of stuff. A lot of bad stuff, but stuff nonetheless.
Yeah, so let's go over a few things here. Hollywood lost to the two legends this week.
Yes, they
Actually,
did.
three. I can't remember the other guy. He was from some show like Mattis or Maxis or something. But Mary Tyler Moore and
comedian legend, comedy legend Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, absolutely. Opened the door for like Lucille Ball and.
Actually, no, she came after Lucille Ball.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
but
call.
I mean, nonetheless, though, but she was she's basically on the Mount Rushmore of female comedy legends.
Sure, that show that and Andy or Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke, yeah.
I was gonna call him Andy Van Dyke, like the baseball player.
It was basically the Dick Van Dyke show, then her own Mary Tyler Moore show, which featured a young Betty White.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so you can check that out on MeTV weeknights at 11.
Remember Nick at Night?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, that's where I used to watch my classic episodes of Sanford and Son.
Remember that? You big dummy.
You big dummy.
Lamont, this is a big one. I'm coming to join you, baby.
Who was Lamont's buddy that was like Jazz from The Fresh Prince?
Was it Roro or was it?
He looked kind of like Puerto Rican and black. I can't remember his name.
I can't think of his name either.
Yeah, Rollo.
Rollo, that's it, Roro. Yeah.
Rollo.
Rollo.
Shut up, you big dummy.
That's right.
But also legendary actor John Hurt, who was in one of my favorite movies of all time, Alien, with Sigourney Weaver, had passed away at the age of 77.
He was also from Doctor Who fame.
Yes, sir.
He was one of the few actors to play Doctor Who in different generations.
That's true.
He was also in the Harry Potter franchise.
More movies I've never seen.
And he was also in V for Vendetta, one of my favorite comic book adaptations.
You know how awesome that movie is?
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Remember the 5th of November.
That's correct.
And what's the moral of that story, Tim? Always question your government, man. Power to the people. Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was it. That's what V was. And also a very shaved-headed, but still lovely Natalie Portman.
Man, when he shaved her head and locked her in that cell, dude.
And she's busting crying. Oh, what a performance, man. Such a good actress she is, man.
Yeah, just an interesting story.
Absolutely it is.
I wish I would have read the graphic novels.
You still can. It's still good. It's an independent label from what I hear.
Awesome. So let's also continue. The NFL took the week off today. I know.
Wait, Pro Bowl though, man. Pro Bowl.
No, the
Pro
NFL,
Bowl, yo.
The NFL's off today.
Hey, come on now. The big game is going on. Not the big game. Not the one in a week from tomorrow. From today, but the big game in Orlando, not in Hawaii.
Oh, it's not.
But you don't have to travel all the way to the beautiful Pacific island of Hawaii and the Polynesian majesty that is. You can go to Orlando, Florida to catch your favorite non-Super Bowl contending players. Offense versus defense. Is that right? Did they even play any defense?
Yeah, they play in a dime package.
Right.
All game.
And little two-hand touch might as well be a flag football game. But they get together, AFC, NFC. Are they still doing that format? Because I think they were doing the lottery pick system. Remember that?
No.
They were picking different players. Yeah, they were. They were picking both AFC and NFC players. And it was two legends. It would have been like a Jerry Rice versus Deion Sanders teams.
How soon? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they had celebrity coach, or not celebrity,
Correct.
but.
Well, yeah, former NFL legend coaches.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but you're right. It's nobody cares. It doesn't mean anything.
How soon before you think they'll be like, they'll play it like it counts, like in baseball?
Soon enough. It doesn't get any. It doesn't really do much for ratings. If you're local, you can see all your stars there. They're all hanging out, obviously, at Disney World, which is, an ESPN. Back in by the same umbrella under the Disney umbrella.
Yeah.
So you get to see your favorite stars there. You don't have to travel, overseas, so to speak. Even though Hawaii being part of the U.S., but. It's a game, man. I mean, something to whet your appetite till the big one next Sunday there. So it's going to be a good matchup though next week though, Timmer. I like the Falcons over the Patriots myself with the upset.
How much does Tom Brady look like Donald Trump in the news right now?
He supports them, man. He likes them. They like each other. Is that
what it is?
They're buddies, man. Belichick too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were accused of cheating already again in the last game.
They threw Donald a pass. He threw him a spiral, and he caught it with his tiny hands.
There was a picture. I saw this picture where people are claiming they blew up his hands when he was shaking hands with Obama. So it was like a picture they were gonna hang in the White House, but they photoshopped his hands a little larger on Obama's back.
Is that right?
That's what I seen in the pictures.
And he's got that caption. He gives Donald that look like, "Hey, this is why my wife's always smiling," and yours not. He's not. How about that? People saying that he's openly just abuses Melania.
Who?
There's little video snippets in his inauguration. He turns around and says something.
Oh, and she looks
goes
down.
from smiling. Yeah, she was pouting. I'm like, what did he say to her?
He was probably like, "You're not getting none tonight."
I don't know about that. Maybe that's for her to say and for him to be disappointed, not the other way around.
You never know. He might have that like Saudi Arabian prince type charm over her.
I don't know about that.
But so
maybe he's manhandling Melania.
Who knows?
Our first lady.
That's hearsay as far as I know.
Right.
I've never heard.
Maybe he's doing like an the Ike Turner thing on Tina and stuff. Like,
don't make me get the boot out of me.
Adam A, if you don't settle down now,
I get that boot. So since we're on the topic of Trump has signed a number of executive orders this week. A few of them to do some of the things he promised to his campaign election, like the Trans-Pacific whatever partnership, which has immediately increased the price on most imports from Japan or even Mexico now, and it's stirring up politics in all these countries. But I kind of think that agreement was toxic. We can go back and forth and debate all day about why we should or shouldn't do it.
Right.
But I mean, look, this is in no way in support of Trump. Okay, if I repeat something he said, it doesn't mean I support the guy.
Okay.
But he said that he wants to make America first, right?
You did say that.
That's why he's locking doors, trying to build walls, this and that.
Correct.
And one of these executive orders just so happened to put a temporary ban on travel plans for some of these refugees, which had already led to protests and calls to action from activists at JFK Airport as well as O'Hare. So I guess what the thing is like you're not able to fly right now until you've filled out documents or whatever. I don't know how this goes. It's still all unraveling as details come in. So yeah, you didn't hear nothing about that at O'Hare?
Protests at JFK, I did see that.
Yeah.
That came up on my newsfeed, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are in there, and there's even pictures of some veterans supporting, saying that this is wrong of them to even do.
Right.
So,
right.
yeah.
That's another
it's
argument.
A very, very sensitive subject right now. So.
And it's, it's like, I don't know. How do you fix the problem? You got to kind of leave it up to those in power to think it out and see what their options are. And, you can only vote for the person that you want that you think can help the country, So,
right.
It's hindsight's 20/20 in that case. So, yeah. Also, another heinous crime was posted to a Facebook Live video. Jay, have you heard about this? 3 guys were arrested in the sexual assault of a young lady on Facebook.
No, I did not hear about this. When did this occur?
This was probably yesterday, maybe today even.
Really?
Yeah.
The live.
Yeah,
Facebook Live.
What's with this trend of doing all this retarded stuff on Facebook? Like, why would you post video of you beating up on a kid that you kidnapped or
right?
Like you're
why would you incriminate
yourself
right away?
Well, Facebook, it's like you might as well be doing it on TV.
Right. Setting up an account in your name with your picture and your likeness.
And there's no avoiding it. There's no...
It's a cry for help? Is basically what you're doing?
I don't know.
I mean, think about it. I mean, if you're letting the world know that you're doing this and you're committing a heinous crime, what else do you expect? What else do you expect?
You should expect trouble because it's what you're going to get into.
Very much so.
What else? The police are also making the rounds on social media about a potential scam going on with your cell phone. If you get a phone call from a random phone number and the caller on the other end says, "Can you hear me?" It's obvious. It's probably the scam they're talking about. And the idea is that if you say yes, they're recording you saying yes on the other end, so when they apply for credit cards through automated systems, they can use your voice to sign up for your credit card.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's hackers are getting more technical and more like, I don't know.
So stealing your identity It's actually you agreeing to something, right?
Right. So they're calling you to get your okay. And you're like, yes.
So you're giving your consent for something. You're setting up something that you didn't even want or need, and they basically have you on record saying agreeing to something.
Right,
so,
and then
which makes it an agreement.
All these credit card companies have these systems where you can just go call up, put your number in, and they're like, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no.
Correct.
And that's it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a federal investigation because somebody's using your credit card in another country. And you're supposed to hang up immediately if this happens to you. I don't know what else you would do. I mean, there's probably ways you could troll these people, like, I can't hear you. What? What'd you say?
I would say that.
Speak a little louder.
Oh. I would go to the no speak English.
No comprehendo.
No comprehendo.
So also a cop in Chicago was suspended for throwing his cup of coffee in the face of a D-bag biker as they were rallying downtown. These guys, there was a pack of like 10 dudes on motorcycles. They were just cruising it looked like Stater Lake or Jackson or somewhere downtown. And this cop comes walking across the street as they're passing by, and he just casually kind of flicks his whole cup of coffee and hits dude right in the chest as he's driving by. So just a moment later, these guys are turning a corner, and you could see half of these dudes are driving in the oncoming lane and just being ignorant,
This is before the coffee cup throwing incident.
This was after.
This is after?
Yeah,
okay.
I understand you're offended. You got hit by a cup of coffee, but you still should have.
They're driving into oncoming traffic.
Right, and it's downtown. It was like in the afternoon at about 1 o'clock,
So they're endangering themselves and other people. Just
right,
wow.
Right.
Why not pull over and try to get the officer's badge number?
Or, I don't know if you want to stop and talk to him because he's probably going to put you in cuffs.
Well, they're not doing anything wrong, though, are they?
No.
Were they loudly revving up their engines or something? Were they doing something? Were they speeding? Were they?
No, they were just being guys on bikes, I guess. And the cop didn't
like it. Doesn't seem
right. No, obviously. But, I mean, he was suspended, so there's that. Yeah. Oh, Kings of Leon, Jay, do you like them?
What do they sing? I guess there's your answer right there.
Yeah. They got it pretty popular about 5 years ago. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was real catchy. It was all over the
I don't even know what I listened to 5 minutes ago, buddy.
But they had
play me a song. I might tell you if I know the song or not. So.
I could probably play you a song briefly, but apparently they had a show at the United Center or someplace nearby.
Okay.
But they postponed it till March because all the things that are seemingly happening in Chicago at this time.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not even worth looking up their music.
Well, that goes to show you that.
I mean, it's a chick rock band, so...
Oh, they're ladies?
No, they're not.
I mean,
they're
for the ladies. Oh,
okay. I would say they have more female fans than male.
Okay, I'm not familiar with
that.
There's why I don't listen to them, so...
That's probably false, but, I mean, it's not hard rock, is what I'm trying to say.
All right.
And then finally, before we get into our first music break, threats are coming from Washington to send the National Guard and FBI to take over the gun crime cases here in Chicago. There's been tweets from Trump back and forth. Well, not exactly back and forth, but towards Rahm in Chicago about the gun violence here, and they need to step it up to do something. And I can't disagree with that statement. 800 deaths to guns last year, and something like 6,500 people shot or something.
Right. He says he wants to stop the quote unquote carnage.
Carnage, right?
Carnage is how he labeled the.
I mean,
what's happening here.
You can't call it, partying. Like, what are you gonna call it?
Right.
Carnage is
It's everyday Chicago life, is what you call it, huh?
Right, and it's a problem, man. I mean, how are these guns getting here if they're crossing state lines, and why is there no control? And that's pretty much something we got to figure out and put an end to. The National Guard and the FBI are already housed in Chicago. They have active units and agents stationed all over the city. So in a snap of a finger, an investigation could open tomorrow. And you would have hundreds of National Guard people wherever they want them. Rauner had to call it a mistake, of course, if they sent the National Guard here.
It looks bad on him.
Right.
Right.
And, Donald Trump is kind of like, wouldn't he be like the boss of all the governors, I would think?
He's the boss of everything now.
Right. Well, yeah.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, if anybody Rauner has to answer to, it would be the president.
The president, of course. Yeah.
And so we'll see. I think this is going to turn into an interesting couple of months here. Well, I say interesting, but I mean it could be something crazy. I mean, martial law.
Right, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Can't get out. You can't be out on the streets
Curfew,
after 11.
Yeah. Certain areas are going to have more police presence than
right.
others.
And weren't you just telling me that an off-duty cop was shot?
It was a multiple-person shooting in the Gold Coast neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's right, the Gold Coast. Now it's going to start bothering people because
Correct.
It happened in the Gold Coast.
It's an affluent neighborhood.
Right. There's a Macy's and,
There's, yes, the Viagra Triangle is that what they call it?
The Viagra Triangle.
Is that with all the bars and everything? It's the older, what is it, the probably early to mid-40s all the way down, so the divorcees, the cougars.
The cougars, yeah.
The silver foxes, everybody getting together. So when it starts happening in your backyard is when it starts becoming real.
That's when people, right. See, it's just like anything, though.
Right.
If unless it's affecting you immediately,
right.
It's really out of your range,
Right. Not our problem.
Right.
It's their problem.
It's off your radar,
Correct.
more or less.
Yeah.
And finally, from the unofficial sponsor for the LOERadio radio show, HeyJackass.com, where you could find up to the second gun violence statistics in Chicago. So as far as January is concerned, to date, shot and killed in Chicago are 48, shot and wounded 238, total shot 286, total homicides 50. And some statistic came out at the end of last year as to something like 79 to 83% of homicides go unsolved.
Yeah.
So I think this is why people in Washington are kind of looking over here. That and as I mentioned earlier before the show, the sanctuary city thing that's got Rahm, it's going to twist him up because they're going to lose all this money that Obama gave him for, the sanctuary thing. And now Chicago's going to be in further debt, which means they're going to have another government shutdown or whatever.
Right. Start applying more taxes.
And then the people
and
suffer.
In the pocket. Yeah.
Exactly. So we're in for just business as usual for Chicago politicians.
Good old Crook County.
That's it, yeah.
At its finest.
So if there's anything else you want to throw in there that I missed out on.
What is it? The Chicago's top cop. They were giving a press conference and you saw that he fainted, right?
Oh yeah, because he needs a liver or a kidney transplant.
He's diabetic.
Yeah,
and he said that his blood sugar was low, and he actually fainted, and they had to tell the media to leave the room in order to tend to him.
Oh, that's weird.
Since it was a medical emergency.
Yeah, we were at Jameson's. We took my mom to Jameson's for her birthday, and just before our dinner came out, man, paramedics, cops, all kind of people running in, and it went from a bustling, crowded restaurant to a silent,
right? It's a medical emergency, and everybody's just curious as what happens, and you're scared, and hopefully
yeah. And my mom's friend who was with us is a nurse at a hospital, and she was drinking before this all went down.
Oh.
So in the midst of all this silence, as they're loading this guy onto the gurney, you could hear her say, clears a bell across the room. What's going on? Is someone having a heart attack?
She said that?
Yeah, I'm like,
Lord.
You got to keep that down. He might be dying. Right. You're going to scare everybody out of this restaurant.
Oh, why?
Yeah. She's like, what? Oh, being loud? I'm like, yes, maybe.
And she's a nurse, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, you're not in a hospital, woman.
Oh, boy.
So.
Well, did you find out what happened to this individual?
They took him out. It didn't look like he was.
Was he choking on something?
No, it didn't look like he was in peril, I would say.
Was it an allergy,
he was
maybe?
Conscious, right. It could have been an allergy thing.
Suffered like an anaphylactic shock?
Yeah, and it was like, I want to say he was about 60, salt and pepper hair. So maybe he had some blood issues or something, but it didn't seem like I said, it wasn't perilous.
It was fatal or anything.
Right.
So, okay.
So
nothing critical.
Hopefully he's doing well tonight, and he'll be back with his family.
So his wife is like, I told you not to order the shellfish.
Yeah, right. His face is all swollen up. Yeah, like Will Smith in that movie.
And Hitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to go on to our first break. This is the Laugh or Else radio show here at WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. My name is Timur Radicek, and I'm joined with Jay Sal, the mixologist.
What's up, Chicago? Timur, good to be back another week, sir.
Thanks for being here, man.
My pleasure.
And
what we got on the Trump playlist here on this mixtape? What else we got?
Yeah, the Trump mixtape.
For our callers that called in, let me see what else we got here.
Well, I'm going to have to open it up with some more kind of old school rock and roll.
Oh, this is a jam here.
And
this is a jam
Tell
here.
me this isn't something, if he does like rock and roll, he's probably like
signing those papers, listening to this in the background.
He's got like a earbud in one ear.
Right. This is what he's saying. He's saying basically, he's like, this is my discrimination music right here.
This is his foreign policy music.
This is what I think of right here. If you don't like it, you don't love it, leave it. That's what he's saying to himself as he's listening to this and writing out all the executive orders that he's doing.
So that's it. So stay tuned. You're going to want to listen to what else we got on
this. This is going to be very interesting here, listeners.
Yeah, and we'll be back in a few short minutes, so check this out. You might know who this is. If you don't, it's Ram Jam. This one's called Black Betty. WNUR-FM. Stay tuned.
Hey, this is Big J. Okerson, and you're listening. It's hilarious. Hey, this is Big J. Okerson, and you're listening to Laugh or Else Radio. I don't know what the else is, but I'm looking at this guy, and it's probably involving butt stuff.
New this morning, a Central Florida man was caught using a pretty sophisticated trick to avoid a $1.25 toll. Police say he used a remote control to drop a shield that covered his license plate. See, check that out there. A trooper watched that shield drop, then go back up after the driver passed through the toll booth. Well, that's the guy who pulled it off, Joshua Concepcion West.
The Laugh or Else radio show has been known to play some music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in Radio Land. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
Welcome back. It's Laugh or Else radio show here at WNUR-FM, Evanston in Chicago. Hopefully we are not standing alone. Every pun intended there. This is a track from Godsmack called I Stand Alone. Before the break, we were talking about recent things happening in the city and around the world. And we've got more of that. But first, if you wanted to weigh in on any of the topics we covered tonight, you could reach out to the Laugh or Else radio show by using this phone number. Area code 847-866-9687. Again, that number is area code 847-866-WNUR. Try to call in during the topic. If we've moved on, we're probably not going to get to your call. So, Jay, what's going on in sports, my man?
We have a lot going on, Timur. We have Sox Fest for all you maybe 2-3 Sox fans out there listening right now, as opposed to the numerous Cubs fans that we know around these great parts of Chicago here. That's going on all weekend, Tim. And that's it. That's pretty much it. But besides a weak Bulls team, a influx Blackhawks team.
Bulls were off tonight?
Bulls were off tonight after coming off another disappointed loss against the Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade's former team. They dropped a 88. They had 88, and the Heat had 100 points. Jimmy Butler was benched to start the game off for his recent actions, and
didn't he bench himself? That was the story I was reading, that he was so upset with his own performance, he pulled himself out.
Well, he went to the bench.
He
went to
like
the bench
leader
at one point, but to start the game off, he was benched. He came off the bench and went 1 for 13 from the field, and was held to 3 points.
Wait, that's worth one of these.
Big time, yeah. So it was disciplinary measures that was handed down by Coach Fred Hoiberg. So things are just, when they're bad with this team.
The Bulls are snowballing out of control right now.
Dwayne Wade also came off the bench for similar comments that he made.
Right.
And he had the most points for the Bulls that night, was 15 points. And they're just a bad team right now, Timmer and listening audience.
That's because they're battling with each other at this time.
It took a guy that doesn't want to be here and the other off-season acquisition and Rajon Rondo when he defended the young guys. And he wrote this on his Instagram page, saying, if anything is questionable, it's the leadership. Rondo's lengthy Instagram post also included a picture of himself along with former Boston Celtics teammates Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce.
And he was saying
he checked in. He was greeted by some boos when he checked in with 5 minutes and 5 seconds into the first quarter. And basically, he's right. I mean, if anybody's right, it's the guy that's on his way out that doesn't want to be here is Rajon Rondo. So they dropped another bad game to Atlanta a couple nights before that. And some boos, much deserved boos to finish the Miami Heat game.
What was
that needs to be said?
What was the Instagram statement he made about, because like it was something about
basically
his
saying
guys wouldn't say that kind of stuff, or
he was basically saying that they wouldn't even tell the media about it. They would handle the situation themselves,
right,
and address those particular players that they don't feel are playing up to par,
right?
That they're not doing their part.
You don't take it upon yourself to call them out during interviews,
right. And don't even start telling that to the media because it just makes the team look bad,
right? So
this is the beginning of the end right here, Tim. This is one of these threads when you look back on the current state of the 2016-17 Bulls. This will be one of those things that are going to stick out, is this incident right here, because this may cost not only Coach Fred Hoiberg his job, but also GM Gar Forman.
Right.
So Pat can say, both you guys leave, and everybody's been saying this for the past 15 years, man, that it should be Paxson himself that coaches his team.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, Paxson, he doesn't have all the control that he should have,
And he knows the game.
Right. He's been, how many championships? I mean, come on.
He was part of all six.
He
was part 3 as a player and part 3 as a coach.
Right. Why wasn't he? Yeah. Oh, so he was the coach during that time.
Yeah, he was. He was an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Hoiberg, where does he come from? Never had a title in his life.
He played for the Bulls, basically under Tim Floyd, and then he went back to coach Iowa State, if I'm not mistaken. And he failed in the first round, actually, 2 years ago, actually, before he's supposed to take over the head coaching of the Chicago Bulls.
Right.
So he actually came in. That team was expected to go far in the NCAA tournament, all the way maybe to the Sweet 16, if that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a mistake signing these guys. It was all to sell tickets, and which they have sold tickets, but nonetheless, they still keep getting booed. And more importantly, they still keep getting beat.
Because we know they could play. They could play better than they are. It's just the internal conflict.
Yeah, it is the internal conflict. Absolutely, it is. It's not well at all. It's not. There is no unity. There's no cohesiveness. You can just blow up the team now and even get rid of their starting all-star player, and next week is going to be starting the all-star game, Jimmy Butler, and get rid of everybody. Everybody needs to go.
So is that Hoiberg's fault then? If the team can't gel and
it's all their fault. It's all their fault. Basically, everybody's contributing to how bad this team is doing. This team has no cohesiveness. They have no heart. They're just playing for themselves, and from what they're going from, contenders to pretenders and chumps.
From contenders to pretenders. You heard it here on the Laugh Rails Radio.
That's right. They're basically, they're not champs, they're chumps, and don't even think about a playoff spot. Playoffs? Don't even think about a playoff spot right now.
They
just
are
try to
who
win some games.
we thought they were.
Yeah, a bad team, a bad overrated, inflated team. So
but
too many egos on this team.
Hey, how's New York faring with
They want to blow up that. They want to blow up that ship too.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of Carmelo. They're trying to find a trade partner between that and the Lakers. I know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
They might go out west again.
I think we're going to see a new era of basketball in the next couple of years.
It's got to be more balanced, though. It was supposed to be better balanced, rather, with bringing Carmelo Anthony to the Knicks when he's a native New Yorker, won a championship at the age of 19 with Syracuse. So it was supposed to be, and revitalize the Knicks, of course. That's one of the storied, one of the biggest city, you can say, most popular, and always with the spotlight on them, New York. And it's supposed to bring the Knicks back to greatness. And Phil Jackson, again, another guy that he can just say, screw it all, and I want to take take the helm as a coach again on the sidelines. And,
Yeah.
And Phil won a championship. Remember the last time with the Walt Frazier era there with the Knicks?
Right. Yeah. Shoulders, I call him. You look at his old photos, like his old basketball cards. He's nothing but shoulders.
Right.
Man.
But
and great coach too.
Yeah, and this is a crazy time for the East and also too LeBron saying that he needs more help. LeBron went to the news and everything. He says they were talking
He's trying to recruit more stars.
They talked about Carmelo going to the Cavs.
Man, let him have him.
Or something. He needs help. He says he had a special meeting with Dan Gilbert and said, this isn't right. And he's in his 30s now, and he can't think about
how much did they lose since? Like, how many players have they lost in the championship team?
Who's that? The Cavs?
Yeah.
I mean, they've had their share of injuries, and they haven't really been consistent. But I mean, he keeps motivating them to try. He's got that Tom Brady mentality: compete for a championship every year. As long as he's on the court and playing in the fourth quarter, as talented and gifted as LeBron James, with a physical presence, they're always going to have a chance to win, regardless.
Of course. Well, look at what
the best player in the.
He took Cleveland all the way to the finals. That first year before he left for Miami.
Right, against San Antonio, they got beat, and he actually
But he did it all himself.
He looked like it would look like NBA Live if you remember that series, the Eastern Conference against the Pistons.
Yeah,
LeBron was a one-man show and basically took the team on his back. And with what do he have, like Jermaine Jones? I'm sorry, that's wrong player. But he had a weak team with him. He had who was even on that team? They had the Brazilian guy. Wait. Here we go. My memory will serve me correct.
Was it?
This was
2009.
Anderson Varejao.
Varejao.
He had Varejao on the team. The coach was Mike Brown, and he had
Mike Brown,
and he had a supporting cast that was not even up to his level. That he tried to bring them up.
I think they were all kind of young yet.
Give me some more players. I said Varejao. Am I right or wrong? What you got the list right in front of you?
I don't know what year this was. We were talking about.
Look at the roster. A lot of the players were
Daniel
still
Gibson.
Daniel Boobie Gibson.
Remember
J.J.
Hickson. That's his name. Ilgauskas.
Yes. So this is the same supporting cast. And now, but he has Kyrie. Kyrie showed up, was healthy. He has Kevin Love now.
He had Antoine Jameson before he was big.
Yeah. So
and Shaquille O'Neal.
There's this
LSU. That's Shaq. Oh, is this the All-Star game?
What are you looking up, dude? You're giving me random people.
Yeah.
Is this the All-Star? Who else is on there?
These guys aren't All-Stars. Danny Green.
No, this is the Cavaliers team.
Yeah.
You did pull up the right thing.
So how was Shaq on the team?
Shaq played for the team.
Did he? While LeBron was there? It says assistant coaches. These aren't. Man. What are we looking at?
Are we having a senior moment on the Laugh for Us radio?
Know. We're having I just Googled
Go to the top. Did you
I
put
just
the
Googled
Cavaliers?
it, and 2009 Cavs team.
Okay.
Maybe I should put Cavaliers.
Well, what other Cavs are there?
The calves on your feet.
You mean the ones on your legs?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't know. Does it matter?
If we're talking about sports and trying to make a point, I think it does.
Yeah, well, then we should have had the facts beforehand.
Well, just look up the right thing next time there, buddy.
Yeah, well, don't put me on the spot, man.
I
I need a producer. Where's my producer?
It is a no-show today. We're producing ourselves. It's okay.
Yeah, we got to empty.
We'll get through the show, man.
This one says the Cleveland Cavaliers. J.J.
Right.
Hickson,
yes.
Daniel Gibson. This is their team.
Yes, you got it right.
So Shaq was on that team.
Shaq was on that team, but he was not the same Shaq.
Right.
As he was
before.
like,
I'm Shaq on the way out, Shaq.
Basically.
That boy hadn't tore down a rim in a decade.
Right. Not willingly, no.
Yeah. Yeah, not willingly. He just leaned up against him.
Basically.
So, yeah, Mo Williams.
Mo Williams. Yeah, you got the right team.
Yeah.
Man. I knew you had the right team. So, you second-guessed yourself there, fella.
Yeah, because I saw Ilgauskas, and I was like...
No, yeah, you had him, yeah.
What'd you say the other dude's name was?
Varejao.
Yeah, it's Varejao.
Varejao's on there?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. The guy with remember the Sideshow Bob haircut?
Yeah.
Hairstyle.
Yeah.
Who else is on that team? Name a couple more players. What else you got? Did you exit out?
I did. West, Mookie, or Donnie, who? Anderson,
Varejao. That's the one I mentioned. Yeah.
Sebastian Tefler.
Okay.
Telefair? I never heard of that guy.
Who else here?
Leon Powell.
Okay.
Anthony Parker.
Yeah, Anthony. That's Candace Parker's brother.
Yeah. Jamario
Naperville product. Yeah, you got the right thing. So, anyways, getting back to our original point was that he needs help because remember that finals they lost convincingly bad to the dynasty that is the San Antonio Spurs and Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
at the
but
time.
they were dominant, dude. Like,
Yeah, but still though, if
were
you got
battling
LeBron, you
out-
got a chance. You had a younger LeBron, the hungrier
Right.
LeBron, a stronger LeBron, a faster LeBron.
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
flopping as much LeBron too.
Yeah. Oh my God, his flops are getting ridiculous.
Aren't they bad?
They're
Draymond Green, remember that? And he falls and he goes face first down. He felt like Apollo Creed when he got knocked out by Evan Drago in Rocky IV.
like a sack of
And
potatoes.
he's down, right? I'm surprised he wasn't like humping the floor like he's having a convulsion.
Oh yeah. What do you want? A suspension, LeBron? Come on.
He
You
wants
gotta
2
foul.
points. He wants 2
Yeah.
points. And that's what he gets. He gets 2 points.
Every time he throws his arms up.
Yeah, but somebody made a pretty good argument on social media saying, hey, he's trying to basically propel his team, and no matter
Right.
what, no matter how juvenile
He's
or,
making a play,
or weak or
he's
soft,
making
you
a
think,
chance to
he's
get his
making a play.
points.
That's all he's doing. And it's working. So he's doing the
Well,
soccer
I
player
mean,
method.
LeBron is probably the best, still the best, like, utility player. He could do it all.
yeah, absolutely.
Dribble, he could shoot, pass, he dunk.
He's
like
basically a wide receiver, a tight end
yeah.
that's playing professional basketball. And he's got the moves. He's just an incredible phenom.
He's a
man.
physical threat on the
specimen,
court.
yeah.
Specimen. That's a
Right.
good. Yeah.
He's a specimen.
So
Do you remember the football player Javon Curse?
Javon, the super freak.
The freak.
Yeah.
Remember that?
The super
He jumped
he had
higher.
the hands, bro. They were huge.
He jumped higher than most basketball players.
Yeah, yeah. He
and
ran
faster than most wideouts.
And he was a defensive lineman.
And he was a defensive lineman.
He was
and
an end.
correct.
He
And he played.
tear
That's
people
right.
up,
He was
boy.
a machine, man.
Big hands grab you before the ball snapped.
Right. Played for.
I think he played for the Bears in like his last season.
Did he?
Yeah.
But what he made his claim for fame was it the Titans?
The Oilers, yeah, Titans.
The Oilers. The Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah.
Now the former Houston Oilers, which were the
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans.
They play in them throwback jerseys every now and again.
They do though. It's fun stuff. Yeah, the
I
old.
wouldn't mind having an old Warren Moon jersey.
Warren Moon.
Remember him?
Well, actually, you know that I'm a Chiefs fan. My favorite recollection of Warren Moon is when the late Derek Thomas sacked him 6 times in a game.
Yeah.
Boom! Just remember that? Just rustled them up, man.
So you were still a fan when Joe Montana went there for his last 2
I
years?
was. Are you kidding me? The preseason game that was basically one of our Super Bowl highlights is when he beat his former team, the
Niners.
championship Niners, and
Yeah,
they whooped
with
on
Steve
them.
Young.
Right, they whooped on them. I will say they beat them by like 20 points or not
Man,
more.
yeah.
They totally annihilated the.
Everybody
the
thought he was
49ers.
washed up too. He played like 2 or 3
He
years.
was. And who did they lose to? They lost to the Broncos.
Was
they
it?
lost in the playoffs. They lost to the Broncos, man. The Broncos with John Elway.
John
a better
Horseface
team.
Elway.
Horseface Elway.
That guy. Oh my. Oh, there was a video that went around last week about him in the Uber.
Yeah, that's cool. You remember? I saw that. You did post that.
Yeah. I'll
That
see
was
if I can
very
find
cool.
it.
That was a very cool story. Oh, let's play it. Absolutely. Anyways, this guy, we played a little snippet of this guy. I like this guy. He actually blocked up the screen so he doesn't get charged a toll. I think that's genius.
Yeah.
Concepcion.
Hey, it said he spent like $8 on that little gizmo, and it's got a wire that runs into the
And
car.
now they're mad. Well, they caught him now. Look at him now.
Yeah, he's mad.
Yeah. Look at him now. It's
Now
like, I
they're
got
like,
caught.
oh, how many times did he do this? Now he can ring it all up.
Now, yeah, I know. Now, well, they know the car now. They know him now. They got footage. It's, I guess he kept doing it. Just don't do it all the time, I guess, right?
Right.
Don't do it all the time. Pay some and don't, if you really wanted to, I guess. That's what did him in.
If you were driving across country and you weren't going to pass them tolls again, sure. But no,
This was local to where he lives.
What
in
it
Florida.
said was the cop was behind him when he did it.
Ooh.
He hit the button to cover his plate, and the cop's like, "What is this?" And then
This is the James Bond gizmo, but he didn't have the missiles on the backside of his car to blow away the
or the
cop's
smoke
tires.
screen, yeah.
Right.
And he said the cop,
or was it when they threw like the thumbtacks or nails and the cop would go over it and then the tires would blow out? Remember those 80s little tricks there in movies? It was so cool.
Throw jacks like from the ball and jacks game.
No, that's not gonna bust it. You need like thumbtacks or nails. Remember it was like nails. Remember that? Nails would come out in the back of like James Barr's gadget car and boom, 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 boom. It would blow out the tires of the cop, of whoever's pursuing them.
John Elway surprises cab driver in video.
This is pretty cool. This is a very cool video.
If we got a YouTube video instead, because everything.
So
else
let's set this up for the listeners. This is a Uber driver, correct?
Yeah, Uber cabbie.
And they're talking
huge
football.
fan of
Huge
John
football
Elway.
fan, and he says that he's one of his favorite players of all time, not knowing that his favorite player, the one he was mentioning, was a passenger of his at the time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to play it off of like CBS or the Denver Post.
Okay.
Because it's not on YouTube. So, as Jay mentioned, it was John Elway and his publicist or somebody, maybe a relative or his wife even, were sitting in this cab, and they just start chatting, and she gets to talking to him about football, and he so happens to mention his favorite quarterback is John Elway. So let's see, what's the word?
In Pittsburgh. Hear me?
No. So you think John Elway was number one? Okay.
Number one, and then you got
I thought he really isn't that good of a guy.
John Elway.
He's telling him he's not that good. That's the publicist.
I think he's hot.
That's his wife, obviously.
She'd do him.
She'd do him.
Oh, so it's a few people on the ride. Okay, yeah, it's like 3 people.
He
Okay.
got any guys would want to do it.
That's him right there. Look at him.
He's like, even guys want to do it.
The guys would go to bed with him.
You think John Elway? Would you go to bed with John Elway?
No.
Come on.
No.
They're trying to get him to incriminate himself.
No.
I don't roll like that. Plus, he knows he's being filmed too. So.
You think so? Well,
why not?
She
it's right
is
in the middle of the
waving,
passenger. Yeah,
she's waving the phone. off.
There's 4 passengers.
Well,
So.
I mean, that's I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know what he looked like. You know what I mean?
Well, I tell you.
If you saw him, you'd recognize him.
So number one was Elway, but why was he number one in your mind?
Super Bowl.
He's a great quarterback. Great quarterback.
How many
And
times
then
did they
let's
beat
see.
up?
He won 2. He went to more Super Bowls, but he won 2.
Right, but
Hey, you won him because of Terrell Davis. Come on now, you know that.
TD, and then who was his
Absolutely.
running back? Was
That was his running back, Terrell Davis.
I mean, the tight end, Shannon Sharp.
Shannon had Sharp. He had some help. Yeah, of course.
I'm not speaking
Great defense.
Still a fan. I'm thinking being
John Elway was my first fantasy football quarterback. Is that right?
Yeah. Tom Brady. Look at this guy.
I can't stand him. But look at this
Can't
guy.
stand him.
Tom Brady. Then I would have to put Ben Roethlisberger in there.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
He's won a lot.
Okay, that's a top.
He's
3.
even talking too, Elway.
I was going to send him an
Would you
autograph. Is that what he's
know
doing, you
John Elway if
think?
you saw him?
No,
Elway,
he's
I
looking
would
at
have
his phone or
Elway.
something.
And if you ran into him, would you know who he was?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do me a favor.
Why don't you
Look
turn
at that
around?
guy right there.
Turn around.
How you doing, man?
Oh come on, man. You serious?
That's awesome.
Come on, man.
That's awesome.
Elway.
How you doing, sir?
Damn.
Look at all the
Look at that,
Take
yeah.
a picture, man.
He wearing all kind of Pittsburgh gear
I'm
though.
serious. When we get out, can we take a picture together, man?
Absolutely.
You gotta take some shades off.
You had to take them shades off.
I know what John Elway looked like.
So you wouldn't sleep with him?
Said you sleep with him, I think.
I hope they tip this guy. You know you got money, Elway.
Man, hopefully bought his cab
Number
for him.
one.
Not about all
That
that.
was good you said that. You know, we would have got
This
out
is
of
pretty
here
cool.
going to walk.
Concentrate on driving.
Even with my
That's John
Well, this
Elway.
went viral. You know that driver is going to probably get more interview requests
Right.
and TMZ money and all
People
that.
gonna be lining up just to get his
Show the
Uber.
guys. I know
Right.
they be jealous.
See,
Little
that's how you.
15 minutes.
Look, that's how you know you're famous.
How's
when,
that?
When you can meet somebody famous and they make you famous.
I got it.
Think so?
That's how. Yeah. Look at it. Like.
Matter of fact, I ain't worried about the riding.
So we should both get Uber accounts for our cars.
I'm serious. John Elway.
See who we pick up.
And what's your name? What's your name?
It'd be
Sam.
1 in every 1,000 rides you get
Sam
somebody
Snow.
noteworthy.
Solid name.
Elway.
My grandfather used to be a cab driver in the city.
Is that right?
Yeah, he told me he picked up like Hawks and socks and
That's pretty cool.
yeah, all the time.
My uncle, God rest his soul, in Mexico City was a cab driver, and he picked up political figures out there, man. Check that out.
But it's all good. You did what you had to do, right? I can't knock you.
doing his
All
job.
right.
All right, it's enough of this video.
Yeah.
You against
and now it's all
Cardinals,
like,
right?
Let's cut
I'm
it.
gonna stroke your ego, Mr. Elway.
Yeah. No, he did. I mean, give Elway his props, man.
Absolutely, great
Everyone- He
quarterback.
is one of the greatest of his generation.
I threw that question up on Dude's sports page about whether or not who's a better quarterback, Aikman, or because they were arguing the week before about how bad Aikman is.
Right. Serviceable. He's a good quarterback. He got the job done.
Right, but he had
But
like
you have Michael Irvin
He's-
and also Emmett Smith. I
right.
mean, that's not.
And
you know what I
still,
mean?
he only had like
And
160 touchdowns.
A great offensive line and a hell of a defense, man. And you got Jimmy Johnson as your coach.
Yeah.
How can you not win any Super Bowls?
Exactly. So and
They
then,
would three-peat, which is hard to do. Just ask the Buffalo Bills, man. They had
oh
a
my
four-peat.
God! Yeah,
AFC
losing.
and talking about the Cowboys, they lost to them too.
Damn. Wow.
They lost to them twice. They did lose to, right? They lost to the Cowboys twice.
I think so.
They
Yeah,
did.
2 out of them 4
Redskins, Cowboys, and was it who was the fourth team that
You're talking
the
about
Buffalo.
what? 87.
No, 90s, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Was it?
remember
Yeah, it was
that?
early
90s.
90s.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, to do it 3 times in a row, yeah, that's something. Of course, that doesn't
In
go
any
unnoticed.
sport, absolutely.
Right. Well, the Bulls did 2 of them.
Yeah.
Right. The
Back to
Magic
back.
have done.
Yeah.
No, not back to back. They had
Well,
those 2 years. Houston
I
won
mean,
them.
those 2 years
during the Jordan, the quote
when he
unquote
was-
retirement /
Yeah.
suspended for gambling.
Yeah. Do you think that's the truth, man?
You know, why not? Why not?
Because
Why
a lot
not?
of people call it conspiracy
Well,
nonsense.
what is he going to do? Say, oh, Michael, you're not going to punish the greatest player on earth and say, you know, basically what he was in a
Yeah, but
machine.
for
He's not going
80
to tarnish.
grand of like
Doesn't
gambling
matter.
debt?
David Stern probably talked to him and said, you need to step aside and take a little break and get the. Think about the press that was following him. Him going before a NBA Finals game,
And it was all coming
deciding, and he goes on the night before and starts spending millions of dollars at the casino.
And it all comes out that he and Barkley like to gamble on golf when they play.
Oh yeah, and they came out that he used to take his his little weekend trips and see they said that would bring out the competitive edge in him.
Right.
That
Well,
he would basically focus and get
his
that drive back.
Didn't his wife leave him, or they had some issue with a
Juanita
woman?
Jordan?
Yeah, with a
Divorced?
woman.
I don't know if necessarily tied to his gambling habits.
No, but I'm saying like there was some controversy about Jordan maybe being with another woman at some
there
point.
was some sort of settlement that he did, I believe.
Yeah, like he said, "Here's some money. Shut the hell up about
Right,
it."
hush money or something.
Yeah.
Right, correct. So before she went to the press and
Man,
leaked
Tiger
all-
should have took notes.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving notes at the what was it?
Voicemails and all. And
No, where he met the girl was like at Denny's.
There were waitresses, there
Yeah.
were hostesses and concierge, and
All
turns
right.
out that the squeaky clean Mr. Youngest
Yeah.
Masters winner wasn't so squeaky clean there.
When you're that
he liked
famous-
dirty sex with average service employees.
Yeah.
So
not much.
I read a very nice GQ article on him. Back when at his height as popularity, when he won the Masters and he was coming on, he was such a phenom, and it was just Tiger Mania was starting, and just again, I mean, he belongs up there with like Jordan stuff, just dominating at the time. I mean, everything. Look what he did for youth golf.
Exactly.
Yeah, look what he did.
He put life into a game that no kids were playing.
Right, and he made people want to start getting better, and because of them, guys like Sergio Garcia and all these young players, you know what I mean, have all been able to step up their game and emulate him. They've all look up to the guy.
All right, Jay. Well, I don't want to cut you short, man, but we got to do our last music break so we can get the hell out of here.
We got some more Trump stuff coming up. What we got?
There's a viral video of a woman that surfaced maybe a day ago.
What's up?
She was arrested by a cop who acted wrongfully, got suspended, and they dropped the charges on her. But there's a whole video about it. We'll talk about that on the other side.
All right.
You might have seen it. Her name is Jacqueline Craig. She was 46, and her daughter, maybe Bria Hyman, was 19, and they were arrested. But we'll get to the video and we'll break it all down. But we're going to take our final music break. Here's WNUR-FM, Evanston in Chicago. My name is Timur Radicek. Joining me, as always, is the notorious Jay Sal, the mixologist.
We're here.
Stay tuned, because on the other side, we're going to talk about that video. And our music theme today is songs that Trump might like.
Nice.
Not an endorsement or a mixtape to Trump, as Jay called it.
Not a
but that's
dedication,
funny.
right.
That's funny. I'm going to put that on the Facebook page, mixtape Trump.
Right.
With,
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, we got some Ozzy?
Yeah, Ozzy and the Black Sabbath.
This is speaking real quick before you play it.
Go
This
ahead.
looks like a good show. This what is it? The help me out here with the music show. Featuring Rob Zombie, featuring.
Oh yeah, he's coming back.
What
for
is it?
one more show. It's
help me out.
Rock the Bells or
No,
something.
no, not Rock the Bells. What is it called? The fest.
Fest. Rob Zombie.
The Google machine.
Great American Nightmare.
No.
Villa Park.
No.
Avenged Sevenfold.
No.
Headline Rockfest.
No.
Slayer. The headline.
Yeah.
It says Rockfest.
Well, what's the fest called?
I don't know. It's not in the headlines, Jay.
No. We'll come
The
back and
dates
we'll
and
give it to
tours
you.
of Rob Zombie. It's Black Sabbath. WNUR.
Laugh or Else Radio Show has been known to play some music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in Radioland. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
Yo, welcome back to LOERadio Radio Show. I say welcome back, but we're on our way out the door. Jay?
Yes, sir.
It's been another great show.
I had a really good time, Tim. Thank you for having me on again. You know, I always enjoy our little Saturday night little debates here.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really debate much tonight.
Well, you know what? When people can listen to us and we're doing our thing during break, I want to start like doing more live stream because because it's even more fun, the stuff that we talk when we're not on the mic, or just as fun as off the air.
All the terrible jokes that we can't say on the air.
That we cannot say. No.
All the four-letter words we're not supposed to say.
Correct. More than 4 letters. Mine have more. Mine have a couple more syllables than that. Man.
I got multi-syllable.
Multisyllabic swear words.
There you go. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my arm.
Multisyllabic swear words. One on each arm, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. I had a whole bunch of other stuff, man, that we could have got to.
Save it for next week, man.
I keep doing that, so I have like 10 next week's worth of show stuff.
Let's go, man. Hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere. It's 2017. It's Trump's America now, boy.
Damn right.
So it's we have to deal with this, and every week it gives. You know who wins in this whole situation? The media.
Oh no,
they get to cover
the comedy. The comedy wins.
Oh, everything. Correct. Every single thing there is to talk about. Our current president.
Yeah.
Our basically the man in power, the highest
and all the
position in this country, in this great country of ours.
All that makes for good fodder too. Even if it's it's not exactly what happened, or
the more we tweet, the more material we have, right?
Yeah, and Donald Trump is no shortage of tweets, man.
You heard about the presidential phone he was issued, right?
Yeah.
It was a kind of, I'm sure it was a BlackBerry smartphone because they use the BlackBerry network on a private, obviously, private network, very private network.
Still using an Android
No,
phone?
they told him, they said no, there's only a few apps, and Twitter's not one of them.
Boo.
So he uses his own cell phone for that.
Man, he's a source of comedy. Like,
absolutely is. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah,
the wife, the family, the daughter, the sons, all of them, the whole family.
Oh, that's another story that I was going to talk about, was the SNL writer who was getting all that flack.
Joke, yeah.
Right. All right, first of all, leave the kids out of it. Kid's 11 years old. He's got nothing to do with anything that you're upset about.
Right.
So don't put your...
but they made fun of Chelsea Clinton back in the day, too. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but not like that.
Yes, they did.
Like what?
Well, they were calling her, basically saying that she was unattractive and all. I remember that, yeah. That
call
was a
her
big
ugly,
joke.
But don't say she got mental disorders.
Yeah, because, I mean, the kid, some people think that he does, that he might. He might be autistic.
Well,
that happens when one of the... Well, you know what I mean. It's not going to come out publicly, you know?
You know,
but you're right. I understand what you're saying. Lay off the kids. Don't mention the kids.
Right. There was like who was it? The other celebrity that took a beating over the kids. Oh, another kid that should be getting a beating is Drew Carey's kid.
Right. He was doing something. Yeah. Right.
Turns out he was that kid that set the fire out front of the protest on the flag. Like, come on, Drew. You're on The Price is Right. Like,
did the kid say the price is wrong, bitch?
He should have.
That would have been good.
Price is wrong, Bob. And he knocks him into the
That's
lagoon.
Bob Barker versus Happy Gilmore. Good scene.
He's
Good movie.
gone now, right? Bob Barker?
No, he's still with us, man. Who said he was gone?
I don't know.
Where do you want him to go?
I haven't heard spay and neuter your pets lately.
Well, he's not the host anymore. Drew Carey is.
I know, but he should have carried that over.
Oh, come on. Now it's time to give up the thing, man. You still want to see Johnny Carson, man, on there? Come on now, man.
No. All right. With that said, we got to close the show. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you'd like to hear more or the replay, you could do so by reaching out to the LOERadio Show fan page on Facebook. Just search as I just described it. Or you can just go to YouTube and use the hashtag LOERadio. You can also use it on Twitter to find anything we tweet about, which isn't much, I'm going to say. I don't tweet much. I don't know. It's just not my thing. But
I did, so I took the liberty of doing it for us.
yeah,
You're
so
welcome.
tweet at Jay at JSal.
Latino Cell.
Yeah, that's right. Until next week, I'm gonna play us out with a jam here, man. I thought somebody turned me on to this track earlier. Oh, I wanted to play this clip of a Scottish man trying to say "purple burglar alarm." It's hilarious, dude. But this guy, his name's Hobson. Yeah, he's got some intelligent bars. He's gonna drop on you right here. And then coming up after us, oh man, I can't remember what the name of your show is. LOERadio. Stay tuned. Play some of the best house music right here at WNUR-FM, Evanston, Chicago.
Good night, y'all.